Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be simulating the Premier League season 10 times to see what happens. I'm going to be keeping track of the top goal scorers, the top assisters, who's got the most match rating, because now that's something you can track as well. They have a table for that. I'm also obviously going to keep track of the league winners and how many points they get. We'll do the averages, all of that nerdy stuff. For the first season, I'll walk you guys through it and I'll show you how it goes. Okay, sorry I had to record this last second. You wouldn't got the whole thing in here, but Victor Gyökeres is won player of the season in the first simulation. Now that leads me to believe that he probably won Golden Boot, and Arsenal very well may have won the Premier League. I'm going to skip that animation though, because I believe that's the same from last year, except they're wearing a different suit. Sunderland lost so many games when I was simming, but what we have to do is look at the table, and oh my god, there you go. The three teams that went up are going straight back down. Sunderland with only 19 points. Now I'm going to enter this onto my spreadsheet and everything, but we'll just talk over it to begin with. Yeah, three teams that came up go straight back down. EA don't have a lot of faith. I'm surprised. I really am. 98 goals conceded as well. Are there any other surprises? Bournemouth that low is kind of crazy. Everton that low is also a bit mental, but I guess the players that they have on paper, yeah, makes sense. Brighton's low. Forest is okay. That's low for Chelsea. United are about where you'd expect. Same with Palace, same with Newcastle. And now we get into the top 5, which is Tottenham in 5th, but Arsenal in 4th, despite the fact that their player won player of the season on 70 points and Aston Villa on 71 points. Very different to the season they're having right now, having only scored 1 goal in 5 games. And the top 2 are obviously Liverpool and Man City, but who won? It was actually Manchester City getting 94 points. Wow. EA clearly back them to do well this season. Liverpool only with 84. I say only. 84 can win you the league title in many seasons. Maybe not in recent times, but yeah. 94 points for Man City. You're joking. You are absolutely joking. Florian Wirtz has finished on top with Isak on 2nd, only 1 goal behind. Erling Haaland's 3rd. Fucking Jeremy Pino is there. Are you kidding me? They've just signed him this season. All right, Cunha's up there, fair. Lookman went to Palace, apparently, in this sim. Cool. Gyökeres with 17. Doku with 17 as well. And Mecha would have been a signing that the career mode just did. I can't control that. Gerard Moreno. Saka had a good season as well. I'm only going to write down the top 10 for each season, I think. Maybe I'll change my mind. I don't know, because there's a few interesting ones here. Pirot. Bernardo Silva. Still kicking about. Scoring goals. Interesting. Okay, and what about assists? Bakwa. I can't lie, I haven't heard of him. I recognise his face, but yeah. I see how Gyökeres got player of the season now. He also got 11 assists. Bernardo Silva with a... Doku with a great season. I think he's the same exact stats as Gyökeres, right? Interesting. Jeremy Pino, though, I think has the most goal contributions in the Premier League, right? He had 18 goals and 12 assists. That puts him on 30. Unless Wirtz is up here. No. Salah with 8 assists. Cunha with 8 as well. Wirtz with 6. Which means he ends on 28 goal contributions. Jeremy Pino had a good season, that's for sure, in terms of GAs. Now we go on to the average match rating. Okay. I'm going to make a rule. You have to have at least 10 appearances, because that's just stupid. Tell has 1 game and a 10 out of 10 rating. I'm not doing that, sorry. Yeah, so I'm going to confirm now, for the average match ratings, you have to have played 10 games. I think that's fair. So Erling Haaland gets the highest average match rating in the Premier League this season, followed by Wirtz, then Isak. Those were the top 3 goal scorers. I wonder how Valero Pino is down. He's all the way down there, only on a 7.35. Considering how many goals and assists he got, that really surprises me. Barcola went to Spurs, he's up there. Obviously, Delap and Ramsdale don't count. Alisson with the best goalkeeper rating. But now we got to quickly look at who got the Golden Glove. Right, well, that's the end of the Premier League season. Time to do that 9 times again.
One eternity later.
And I have now finished the remaining 9 simulations. For you, it would have only been a second ago that you watched the first one, but for me, it was a week ago. So let's get straight into it. In the first sim, Manchester City won the league with 94 points, and as you can see, the top 6 was pretty standard, what you'd expect. Maybe Aston Villa a little bit high. And the 3 teams that went up went straight back down, which is not what we want to see in the Premier League, and Bournemouth did quite bad. The Golden Boot went to Florian Wirtz, which is probably quite a surprise. Closely followed by Alexander Isak, only 1 goal behind, Erling Haaland 1 goal behind him, and somehow Yeremy Pino making it into 4th. Yeremy Pino also shone again, getting the second most assists in the Premier League, which is 12, with Delane Bakwa banging 13 assists for Nottingham Forest. Gyökeres also getting 11 assists is also quite high. Erling Haaland had the highest match rating of a 7.64, excluding people who played less than 10 games. And Victor Gyökeres won Player of the Season. In Sim 2, Liverpool won the league with a really low 75 points. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the equal lowest someone's ever won the Premier League with. Chelsea managed to get 2nd, Spurs finished 3rd, Aston Villa were up there again, but only 4th this time, and Man City all the way down in 6th, and even Arsenal finishing with points and 5th is quite low. And the 3 teams that came up did not go straight back down, only 2 of them did. Burnley finishing rock bottom, Sunderland 18th, and Everton going down, which is a bit of a surprise. Leeds managed to somewhat comfortably finish 16th. And the top scorer was Erling Haaland with 29 goals, equaling Salah's record from last season. Yeremy Pino was up there again, Jorginho Rutter was up there this time, strangely enough. Cole Palmer had what I think was his best goal scoring season, and Victor Gyökeres finishing in 2nd. And this was actually Mohamed Salah's best scoring season, getting 18 goals, so he clearly did have a little bit of a drop off. When it comes to assists, Phil Foden was the GOAT in these simulations. I have to say, he broke the Premier League assists record, getting 21, not so closely followed by Salah with 11, meaning he got 29 goal contributions, and that was his best season with regards to goal contributions. And now Wirtz got 3 red cards, so maybe he's got to calm down a little bit. With average match ratings, Alexander Isak was on top with a low 7.47, and Dominic Solanke was up there. The player of the season was Phil Foden, and the team of the season is as follows. And in Sim 3, Manchester City were back to winning ways, getting 85 points. Liverpool were only 1 point off with 84. Arsenal up at 3rd, Manchester United with their best finish getting 74 points and finishing 4th. And down at the bottom, the 3 teams that went up went straight back down. Not what we like to see. And Vinny Jr. just randomly decided to join Manchester City and get the Golden Boot. 27 goals, an incredible season for him. Visser and Gordon were the deadly combo that Visser was with Mbomo the season before in real life. Mikel Merino finished with 17 goals, and this was one of Haaland's worst scoring seasons, getting 17. And Federico Di Marco had 11 goals. He joined Liverpool and got 11 goals from left back. That's not the strangest thing when it comes to Di Marco in all of these sims. For assists, Leandro Trossard won the Golden Shoe, getting 11 assists, equal to Phil Foden and Alexander Isak. For average match rating, Vinicius Jr. was so far ahead of every other eligible player, getting a 7.75. And yeah, he did win the player of the season and made the team of the season, which is as follows. Sim number 4 was another win for Manchester City, but Tottenham had the same amount of points as the league winners. Absolutely mental. Newcastle finishing 3rd and Liverpool going all the way down to 5th. Aston Villa in 6th as well there. And the teams that went down were Brentford, Wolves and Everton, so all 3 promoted teams actually stayed up in this simulation. The Golden Boot went to Matheus Cunha with 25 goals. Florian Wirtz was up there again with 22. Gyökeres with 22 as well, and Phil Foden getting 21. Dominic Solanke getting 20 goals in the league for Spurs as well. Jeremy Doku had the Golden Shoe, getting 12 assists in the Premier League, with Anthony Gordon just behind him with 11. And for the average match rating, Dominic Solanke was the highest with 7.66. Player of the season was Matheus Cunha, and the team of the season was nothing too crazy. In Sim number 5, Liverpool won the Premier League with 84 points. Manchester City only 1 point behind. Aston Villa finishing above Arsenal again in 3rd. Chelsea getting 5th and Newcastle in 6th. Crystal Palace finished bottom of the table in this sim, with Brentford and Burnley also getting relegated. Erling Haaland was the top goal scorer with 26 goals. Isak with 23. Ollie Watkins getting 22 goals. I think that was his best for these sims. Ferran Torres joined Tottenham and had a banging season. And for assists, Ferran Torres was also up there, getting the golden shoe equal with Cole Palmer. For the average match ratings, Erling Haaland was so far ahead of everyone else with a 7.83. The highest we've seen up until now. And he did win the player of the season, making it into the team of the season up top with Ollie Watkins. And in sim number 6, Manchester City stormed the Premier League, getting 93 points. Arsenal was 16 points behind with only 77. Liverpool didn't put up a fight either, getting 70 points. Spurs with 66, Newcastle with 63, and Man United also with 63. And unfortunately, the 3 teams that went up did go down, which was the 3rd time this happened in these sims. The Golden Boot went to Erling Haaland, who got 27 goals, and Phil Foden managed 21. EA really think he's going to have a comeback season, apparently. I love Phil Foden, but I don't know, man. Maybe not these many goals. Phil Foden was top for assists, getting 16, and Arias up there, Sancho up there, a bit of a surprise. For the average match rating, Phil Foden with a 7.91, the highest of any of the sims I did. And he did, of course, win the player of the season. You have to when you have stats like that. And the team of the season was very heavily Manchester City dominated because, well, they did win the league. Sim number 7, Manchester City won the league again, except it was much closer this time. They had 83 points, Arsenal had 81 points, and Liverpool were also very close on 79, only 4 points between top and 3rd. Burnley finished rock bottom again with Leeds at 19th and Brentford at 18th. Bukayo Saka won the Golden Boot in this season with 27 goals, and Rafael Leao, Didi Vinny Jr. just randomly pulled up to the Premier League and had an insane season. But the main thing to note is look at the names in this Golden Boot race. First of all, Leao doesn't play in the Premier League, so that's a shock. Saka being in a Golden Boot race is kind of crazy, considering he gets more assists than goals these days. Cunha, okay, fair. Ryan Gravenberch with 23 goals. What are we doing, AA? And Yannick Carrasco getting 22 goals for Spurs. Obviously, he doesn't play there in real life, and even if he did come to the Premier League, the most I'd expect him to get would be 10 goals. And I also just wanted to point out this guy, Moussa Barrow, got 18 goals. I think he's been at Bologna. I don't ever see him that highly regarded as a player. And even more interestingly, this was Erling Haaland's worst goal-scoring season, getting 14. But Kevin De Bruyne joined Man City and got 13 goals in the Premier League in only 29 games. How mental is that? Yeremy Pino won the Golden Shoe, getting 13 assists. Carrasco, though, also up there for assists, getting 11. Gyökeres getting 11 assists again. He had 11 in one of the other sims. Erling Haaland with 10 assists. And even weirder, Pau Torres got 10 assists from centre-back. Bukayo Saka had the highest average match rating with a 7.77, closely followed by Rafael Leao. And Rafael Leao did win the player of the season. I guess it's because they won the league and he was the best player for Man City. And he did, of course, make it into the team of the season with Saka on the right. And Donnarumma just in there so often. In sim number 8, Liverpool won the league, and now this is the closest title race I have ever seen in any league. I've never seen it be 1 point between 1st and 3rd. Maybe I'm just forgetting someone. I've seen it be like that on the final day, but one team's ended up drawing or one team's ended up losing and it hasn't finished that way. But Liverpool are very lucky. But yeah, Arsenal just can't get over the line. And Leeds finished rock bottom, which was their worst finish. Everton all the way down in 19th, and Wolves finished 18th. Leandro Trossard won the Golden Boot in this season, getting 23 goals. Closely followed by Jeremy Doku. If Trossard is up there for assists, Doku's up there for assists. If Trossard's up there for goals, Doku's up there for goals. And Burmo getting 21 goals as well. For assists, Martin Odegaard got 10, which is not realistic because that would require him playing an inventive pass every now and again. Although, I'm recording this after the Newcastle game, and he actually played well when he came on. I'll give him credit there. The highest average match rating was from Alexander Isak, getting a 7.66, Leandro Trossard with a 7.55, not too far behind him. And Leandro Trossard won the Premier League Player of the Season. Probably the strangest one in any of these sims, because, yeah, you wouldn't predict Vinny to win it, but if he joined Man City, it wouldn't be out of the picture, and same with Leao. And the team of the season was as follows. And Arsenal finally won the league, and it was in a season that they didn't need to do as well as they did. They got 97 points. That was the highest from any sim. They only lost one game, but Man City were 19 points behind on 78. Liverpool had 76. Spurs had 75. Everton finished rock bottom on 16 points. Burnley with 20 and Brentford with 32. And the Golden Boot went to Alexander Isak with 28 goals, but Foden and Haaland have done it again, being a crazy duo, both getting over 20 goals in the Premier League. Foden with 27 and Haaland with 22. Cunha's up there again, and Kulusevski with 17 goals. Mikel Merino had 16 goals. He had 17 in another sim, but I still feel like this is crazy. And Depay had 15 goals in 23 games. Bernardo Silva, 14 goals as well. This is another weird statistical season. And Phil Foden had 14 assists. Merino had 11. So he had a great season statistically. Rodri up there, Kulusevski up there, and Bernardo Silva up there as well. And for match rating, Alexander Isak got a 7.74 on average, and Phil Foden was not too far behind him on a 7.71. Mikel Merino, actually, I didn't even realize that, 7.69, very close. But Isak won the player of the season, and this was the team of the season. And in the final sim I did, Manchester City won the league with 91 points, Arsenal with 85, and Liverpool with 81. Nottingham Forest's best finish, getting into the top 6 for the first time. Burnley went down, West Ham went down, and so did Brentford. The Golden Boot did go to Erling Haaland with 26 goals, Gyökeres with 23, Wissa with 21, and Isak with 20. And this is what I find weird. How has Depay gone to Aston Villa 2 sims in a row and got this many goals 2 sims in a row in a limited amount of games? That's weird. And Sancho got 17 goals as well. Phil Foden was top with 18 assists. And you heard me mention it earlier, DeMarco, he's up there with 13 assists. And I know this is just a Premier League video, but what the hell are those statistics for a left back in all comps? 28 goals and 16 assists. For those of you who can't do maths, I'll tell you, that's 44 goal contributions in 58 games for a left back. The highest average match rating was Omar Marmoush. Despite only playing 19 games, he's still eligible with a 7.81. It's actually one of the highest average match ratings we've seen in these sims. Haaland, Foden, Gyökeres, and Trossard all up there as well. And Erling Haaland took the player of the season in his final season. And the team of the season, despite Erling Haaland winning player of the season, he did not make team of the season. Yes, so if we want to look at the overall statistics, on the left, we have the average points tally for each team. In the middle, we have the lowest points tally for each team. And on the right, we have the best points tally for each team. They're obviously all pretty similar, but I'd say the main difference is that Crystal Palace, from the average of 10 going all the way down to 17th at their worst, because they obviously did finish rock bottom in one of the sims, which is a big surprise, I guess, compared to anyone else who finished rock bottom. But most of the other teams stayed pretty consistent across the 10 sims. There weren't too many outliers for league table positions. Everton had the worst season of any team when they finished last, but on average they were going to get relegated anyway. So I guess if we go based off of what I think the European places are going to be for the Premier League this season, you could expect Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa and Newcastle to get into the Champions League, Tottenham and Chelsea to get into the Europa League, and Manchester United to get into the Conference League, which I don't think is going to happen. Everton, Sunderland and Burnley are predicted to go down. Honestly, Sunderland look like they are maybe even poised for a European position this season. Definitely not getting relegated. I don't see how that's going to happen. So the table on the left is each team's worst place. On the table in the middle is the most common place. And the table on the right is the best place for each team. Where it says PST, that's the place. And GP is just how many times it happened. So as you can see, Man City won the league 6 times, which means it's their most common. Actually, Arsenal's most common finish was 4th. And I think most people would expect that to be 2nd or maybe 3rd or even 1st. 4th is incredibly low for that. I was expecting a bit more variation in league table positions. I thought like Fulham would get a random European spot. I thought Palace would randomly get into the top 4. Brighton would get a European spot, but no one strayed too far from the average in any of these sims. And if we want to look at the best goal scoring seasons, the best one was in Sim 2 from Erling Haaland with 29 goals. Isak with 28 goals in Sim number 9. Vinny Jr. in his one Premier League season got 27 in Sim 3. Haaland got 27 in Sim 2. Saka got 27 in Sim 7. Phil Foden got 27 as well, but in Sim 9. Erling Haaland had 26 in Sim 5 and Sim 10. Matheus Cunha getting on this list, scoring 25 in Sim 4. And Rafael Leao in his one Premier League season got 25, which was in Sim 7. And the same for assists, but this is dominated by Phil Foden. He is the top 4 with 21, 18, 16 and 14 in Sims 2, 10, 6 and 9 respectively. Yeremy Pino with 13 assists in Sim 7. Dilane Bakwa with 13 assists in Sim 1. DeMarco with 13 assists in Sim 10. Doku with 12 assists in both Sim 4 and Sim 1, and Florian Wirtz had 12 assists in Sim 10. And for average match rating, the best was from Phil Foden in Sim number 6 with a 7.91. Erling Haaland had a 7.83 in Sim 5. Omar Marmoush, in the one we just looked at, had 7.81 in Sim 10. Erling Haaland had a 7.79 in Sim 6. Saka, in that brilliant goal-scoring season, had a 7.77 in Sim 7 with 27 goals. A lot of sevens there. He wears the number 7. I might have just broken the world record for saying the number 7. And in Vinny Jr.'s random Prem season, he had a 7.75. Hugo Ekitike managed a 7.74 in Sim 9. Leao, again, in his random Prem season, had a 7.73. And Phil Foden with a 7.71 in Sim 9. And Victor Gyökeres with a 7.7 in Sim 10. Wow, I said 7 so many times. Good movie, by the way. I'd recommend watching 7. And for goals and assists, the top 2 are Phil Foden with 41 and 37 in Sim 9 and Sim 6. Bukayo Saka had 31 goal contributions in Sim 7. Alexander Isak had 35 goal contributions in Sim 9. Phil Foden had 35 in Sim 2. Erling Haaland had 34 in Sim 5. Carrasco, which is the wildest one on here, had 33 in Sim 7. And all in Sim 10, Phil Foden, Victor Gyökeres, and Alexander Isak had 32 goal contributions. So I'd guess the biggest surprise here is that Yannick Carrasco makes an appearance, and also that Erling Haaland's only on here once, considering how many great goal-scoring seasons he has. And the most golden boots one was from Erling Haaland with 4, Alexander Isak, Matheus Cunha, Bukayo Saka, Leandro Trossard, and Wirtz only won it once each. And when it comes to assists, a lot more different people won it because there was a lot more ties. Phil Foden won it 4 times, but Pino, Palmer, Torres, Odegaard, Gordon, Doku, Trossard, and Bakwa all won it once. And this was the average team of the season across the whole thing, based on who made the most team of the season appearances, who plays those positions. So yeah, Donnarumma in net, Mateus Nunes, a real weird one at right back, Diaz and Van Dijk at centre back, Vardiol at left back, Foden and Gordon on the wings, a midfield 2 of Wirtz and Cunha, Gyökeres and Erling Haaland up top. That took a really long time to make, so I hope you guys did enjoy that video. I'm going to be doing one on the Champions League as well, and that video will probably be better because now I know what I'm doing when it comes to making these videos. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, or if you didn't, please do be sure to leave a like and subscribe on the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.